The ending. The ending. A fitting term. It has in fact ended. I write this from my one small corner, the small space that I work to deem safe. Every day, every horrible day is a struggle to stay sane. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I suppose I should start with a brief summary of what happened. My name is Ridley Pierce. I made a living as a freelance writer. I had a studio apartment in Toronto. I drove a Ford F-250. I lived on Junior Mints. And yet, I was still happy. Doing my passion and living in peace. Then it happened. I used the term "it" because the general public was never informed of what it was. Thus is the general politician's idealism. It took effect on the 16th of June 1998. I remember it vividly. I was not getting any good deals on my scripts, so I was down on my money. I went to the corner shop to get a few groceries, and I heard it. An absolutely blood-curdling scream. I glanced towards the front of the store, and everyone was running. My first thought was a murder. I'd never seen a murder, but I had seen a man get mugged, and that alone was not pretty. It was then that I saw my first infected. In life, he was a middle-aged man, probably worked in construction. He was certainly dressed like it. Now in this state, he was clammy and pale. He had a long claw mark on his left arm, and his eyes were bloodshot and puffy. He's not alone. A careless shopper had gotten tangled in the crowd of frantic people, and the infected got to him. To his good fortune, he'd gotten a quick death, his throat bitten out. He, as I'd later figured out, was one of the lucky ones. The infected ate his corpse, as I and the other panicked shoppers watched. A loud bang resonated in the air. The owner of the store had gotten his 12-gauge shotgun out and very quickly eliminated the infected. As soon as the infected, who was in the way of the door, was clear, I was out that door. My mission in life was to now get into my truck. I kept my Colt 45 in the glove compartment. I had a feeling whatever this thing was, that there were more. I made it to my truck, climbed in and locked the doors. I fumbled for my keys and roared off down the main street. I was shaken and I didn't know where to go. I looked back and saw the infected crowding around the store, attracted by the noise. As I drove by some houses and a coffee shop, I saw a large group of them. They were dressed like normal people. A company t-shirt here, a dress there. I was clueless. All I knew was that I needed to get away from these things as fast as I could. Now, on me, I only had my knife, my 45, my keys, my wallet, my zipper and some quarters. Not the best selection to fight a horde with. As I drove toward my house, I saw not more, but tons more. On the sides of the roads, near houses, in houses. As I drove far, exceeding the speed limit, I would occasionally glance out my window. I saw people running from the infected, people fighting the infected, and people getting eaten by the infected. I pulled into my driveway and I saw my neighbour running out of the building. I saw an infected version of my landlord running after him. I remember shooting him well. Guess he won't be bothering me about the rent anymore. I ran inside and ran into my apartment. I locked the door and barricaded it with my dresser and bed. I boarded up the two windows and gathered my wits. I needed to figure out what was going on. I turned on the television, but there was nothing. I just sat down and waited. That was 5 days ago. I ran out of decent food 3 days ago, and water stopped running just before that. But I still have my handgun. 4 rounds, enough for 3 infected. If it comes to that, I'll know what to do.